so many people have a fucked up relationship with food, a fucked up relationship with their body, and they're having kids, and their kids are learning their behaviors. It
Yes.
really does stem from the parents, and it all comes, you're setting the path of their life.
Mhm.
And the one thing that you say about their body and that's going to stick with them
Yeah.
forever, just like
Yeah.
it's stuck with you. And that's why you're fucked up. You don't think about that, or maybe you do, but you really haven't worked on it. And so you're not a cycle breaker, you're a cycle continuer.
Welcome to Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt, the world's #1 no bullshit health and fitness podcast.
Are you ready to cut the crap with your diet and exercise, get strong as fuck, and build a healthy relationship with food? Then you've come to the right place.
Let's go. If you'd like to support us in the podcast, join our Patreon where you get exclusive content, which consists of monthly workouts you can do at home or at the gym, monthly challenges that are either strength, habit, or mindset based, and access to over 100 plus low-calorie, high-protein, family-friendly meals. These are all designed by a professional chef who is certified in nutrition. These recipes are already in MyFitnessPal for easy fucking tracking. New recipes are also added each week.
We believe that fitness is for everyone, so this is our way of getting you started on your health and fitness journey at a price most everyone can afford. So what the fuck are you waiting for? We'll see you in the Patreon.
All right, here we go. Nerdle, we're back and we're live.
We're back in black.
Back in black. I hit the sack.
That's right. I'm going to see them actually in May.
You are in
I
Boston, right?
am in Boston. Actually, it's going to be
Boston.
Johnny's first concert.
Dude, first fucking concert, AC/DC.
Yeah, that's right, with his buddy Sam.
Nice. Sam.
He loves AC/DC too. So
That is cool. What a
um,
memory.
I know.
At like 13 years old?
First
Yeah.
first concert at 13. I think that was probably when I went to my first concert. It was like 13 or 14.
Okay. Mine was 16. I was 16 years old for my first
Oh,
concert.
wow.
Yeah. It was my 16th
Yep.
birthday, actually. What was your first concert?
Uh, Winger and Cinderella.
Winger.
Winger
Nice.
and Cinderella. So maybe I was like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't think I'm like 12 or 13 now. I'm trying to think. It went with my friend Katie, and we were definitely probably freshmen in high school. So I
Gotcha.
was probably like 14 or 15. Yeah, for
Back
sure.
then, where did you go by yourselves?
Our parents dropped us off and then picked us
Yeah.
up because we couldn't drive, obviously. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. My first concert was when I was 16. It was actually my 16th birthday. Dulski just sent me a picture of the ticket stub from that concert, actually. He's
Really?
always kept most of his ticket stubs over the years. I wish I would have.
Uh-huh.
That'd be such a
Uh-huh.
cool thing to
I
do.
know, right? And then
Uh,
frame them all?
yeah. But my first concert was Metallica. My birthday, 4th of July, 2003. So I would have been, what, 16 years old. It was
Wow.
the Summer Sanitarium tour.
Yeah, nice.
They played with, I don't know if you know the Summer Sanitarium tour that they used to do, but it was like their summer festival that they did. So
Mm-hmm.
they had Limp Bizkit with them, they had Linkin Park and Deftones and Mudvayne were all playing.
Wow. Was that
And
in Ohio?
it was in Detroit, actually,
Okay.
in
Yeah.
the old, Pontiac Silverdome, which has now been torn down.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that was really fucking cool. So I'm
Love
excited for Johnny
concerts.
to have that experience.
I know. I know, right?
For
Yeah.
our listeners, DM us, let us know what your first concert was. We wanna
Yeah.
know. That'd actually be pretty cool.
Winger and Cinderella.
Winger and Cinderella. You're an '80s child.
Wow, how fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I was a big hair.
Mhm.
Big
Hair
hair,
metal, for sure.
hairspray,
I mean,
Aquanet.
that's your
Oh yeah.
vibe for sure.
Uh, yeah, right. For sure. Yes. All
Sweet.
right.
Well,
So,
what's new in the Beth Farraco world? Let's
oh,
catch
what's
up.
new? I'm just here in Florida. It's warm. My plantar fasciitis has been acting up and it's pissing me off. Pissing me off, Matt. Yeah.
From, that's weird because it started acting up, I think, when I was there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and then it went away, and then I had leg day. I think one of my leg workouts massively triggered it, and that was my leg day workout on what's today? Wednesday. It was on Monday. I was doing these calf raises, and then
Okay.
that night, and it's just tight calves. That's going to go right to the fucking. It was already like it was already there, and this
Yeah.
just fucking escalated it.
Exacerbated it. Yeah.
And then, like, later that night, I was just started walking, and it was, like, it's, like, suddenly excruciating, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Mhm.
So, I got, like, the ball out, I got the fucking out doing the stretches,
Doing nice
and
stretches, like, up against the wall, perhaps? Like
yeah, oh, yeah, all kinds of I have, like, because I used to have it for 2 years before it was healed, and so I have all kinds of tools in my fucking tool belt,
yeah.
except that I didn't have a foam roller, like, some of the key
You're
things
in
that I
fucking
needed
Florida. Yeah.
for my calves, because, you gotta roll out the calves. I'm like, "All right, this is stemming from my calf. It's, like, super tight. Something's going on that's making that fascia just whatever." And so, I didn't have that, but I went to the gym this morning and I rolled out my calves, and it actually feels a lot better. So, I'm not gonna try to get 16,000 steps
I
a
was gonna say,
day.
are you, like, dropping your activity a little
Yeah,
bit?
I made it to 10,000 yesterday.
Boom.
Which is still a lot, but I jumped from this is why you guys like, the extremes, right? And like I said, what I'm doing is extreme. And this is kind of like what happened when I went from 10,000 to 16,000 steps, literally overnight, and like
Mm.
every single day. And so my foot was like, "Fuck you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?" And
Trying to
so
do too
now,
much too quickly,
yeah.
which,
So
like you
now I'm
said, that's
taking it
what
down a
some
notch.
people do. Yeah. I hear you. I mean, I kinda did that too, right? When I was ramping up my
Yeah, that's
marathon
right.
training with my
Mhm.
tendinitis, I still think that I injured myself with the way I was wearing my fucking socks, but
Mhm.
also, like, was starting to ramp up miles really quickly. So, yeah, you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. So,
Slow is always better,
yeah. Don't
or
I
there's
know it?
yeah,
Sometimes you have to learn the lessons the hard way.
for sure.
So,
You don't know it until you know it.
mhm.
Well, good. It sounds like you're still kind of cruising along then, even 10,000 steps a day. Fuck, you're still
I
crushing
mean, that's still yeah,
it.
exactly. I'm not
Oh my god, you're
exactly.
fine.
And basically, like I'm not doing it all in one go. I know, like I'm not gonna be like time on my feet at one time is
Yeah,
also
like, you're
too
not running
much.
right now, so
No, and I do my morning walk to the beach. That gets me a couple thousand, and then I'll just do little tiny walks around the block all day. Spaced
yeah.
out. So
Mhm. Exactly. Microtransactions. You're not eating the elephant in one bite.
right, right. And I know, like, if it really I know when to cut it off and be like,
Yeah,
"Okay, if I keep continuing, I'm gonna be injured for months." But I'm not at that point yet, so
exactly. There comes a point when you have to have that conversation, like, d
yeah.
and
And
be
I
real with yourself.
I use the shit out of the CBD solve.
Nice. Shout out to
Yeah,
Cured. Yes.
cured, yes. Oh, yeah, that helps a little bit too, I'm sure.
I
So
agree. I still use my CBD salve multiple times a
mhm.
week. Um, when I
Yeah.
was when I was dealing with my tendinitis, that helped that relief and the inflammation for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, love my CBD salve. Uh,
Mhm.
they just sent us our new, stuff for the month, actually, yeah?
I don't
Did you
know,
get
I'm
your
not
did you get
home.
your oh, shit, that's right, you're not home yet, damn it.
And I'm almost out of fucking my gummies. I don't have a backup. I don't know why I
You
did
want me to
not
send
bring
you
a
some?
backup.
They've
Uh,
got a bunch of sample packs.
do you? Oh, I might
Yeah,
have you do that,
because we
actually.
asked them for samples so we can give them to friends and family.
Yeah.
So I've got, like, a whole box of samples, I could send you
Oh,
some.
fuck yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have you do that because I'm traveling to Vegas and I don't wanna, like, not go to Vegas with my Serenity gummies. I have
Yeah.
2 left.
I wonder if Cured will be there again this year because they might even be
Hmm,
getting samples out
maybe.
at the, conference you're going to.
True.
So, hopefully, that'd be cool.
True. Yeah.
Loving the Cured stuff, though. Nice shout out
Mhm.
for Cured right there.
I
Uh,
know.
and I'm missing my I need to get an extra bag to leave at Sarah's house and a bag to leave at my house because I go
Yes, you
back and
do.
forth
You
so
talked about
much.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I go back and forth so much, and that's one of those things I forget to bring with me here sometimes. Like, I've been here for a
Mhm.
few days now, and I don't have it, and I definitely noticed a difference.
Your flow. You
Well,
forgot your flows
I forgot my
again.
flow, and now the flow is all fucked.
Fuck.
Imagine that. It's been harder to stay focused during my workouts and things
Mm.
like that. So,
Mhm.
gotta love the flow. And if you're listening, hey, check them out. Our followers, our listeners, everybody's been loving the flow gummies.
Mhm.
Nutrition.com/CTC. Our code is CTC, and you'll get that little discount there.
Yeah.
20% off and 30% if you package it. Bundle it up with like Serenity gummies, our other
Mhm.
favorite. Or just get yourself some salve if you got some aches and pains.
Yep.
Dope. Um,
Reminder, this won't cure any disease. Do you
right.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this is not like your vitamin D supplement that the doctor tells you to get, because
Yeah.
I get that, like, because you know how we are about supplements. People are like, well, you talk about Serenity gummies on your podcast. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not promising you this is going to fucking
We're
save your
not
life
promising that the Serenity gummies are gonna
or that you
fix all
need
your
this in order to lose fat or, you know what I'm saying? It's
It's all
extra.
about
It's
the
like me
messaging.
saying, it's like, I recommend this tea that I like at night that really
Yeah.
helps calm me down. That's basically what I think of it as because
Yes. It's something to add into your ritual, your routine, like with your self-care routine. Mhm.
exactly. Exactly. So,
We're very clear about this all the time. Like, guys, like you still need to
mhm,
focus on this other stuff. Still need to do this.
yeah. I master the boring basics
Yeah, for sure.
every fucking day. Every day.
Uh-huh. I've been crushing it with my training, Beth. I'm
Yay.
less than a month away from my half marathon,
Fuck
and
yeah.
I've got 2 long runs of 14 miles left, and then it's marathon or half marathon time. I'm excited.
Nice.
Just
That's
did a
awesome, Matt.
12-mile long run last weekend. I think I talked
Yeah.
about
How'd
that.
it feel?
I felt really good, really good.
Yeah.
Even the next day, let's see, couple days afterwards, I still felt pretty good. Like I didn't have
Uh-huh.
a lot of heavy legs, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
and I was really excited because it was a progressive long run. So the second half of the long run was faster than the first half. It really helps you to dial in and lean into that mental fatigue, that mental toughness, right? Because mile 9, I started hitting that wall, like, oh, like, damn, this sucks, because
Yeah.
I was cruising along. I was cruising along at my half marathon pace. So sustaining that
Mhm.
pace, that was the first time I really had to sustain a hard effort run just
Right.
block because my
Wow.
other runs have just been just feeling it out and just building up my fitness. And now I'm getting dialed in.
Yeah.
So that was
Nice.
tough. Worked through it, made it through it.
Right. It's all mental.
It's all mental. Like I was at 11 and 0.75 miles. My car is in sight, and I'm like, I could walk there and just use that as my cool down. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why
Right.
the fuck would I walk the last
Right.
quarter mile of my 12-mile long
Isn't it
run?
so fucking
Like
crazy what we
fucking
do
moving
and
with
tell
you,
ourselves?
big
Yeah.
strong, the little bitch. Like
Oh,
literally,
I do
these
that to myself
conversations
all
you
the
have that.
time.
Yes, dude, finish fucking strong. Called myself out, and I finished strong, and I almost threw up at the end of that last quarter mile because I
Oh my
was
God.
digging in deep,
Done.
and that
Yeah.
is what I need. That's the training that we need, right? Because on half marathon day, that is how I'm gonna need to finish.
Yeah.
So we practice like we play, right? Or we play like
Right.
we practice. So
Yeah.
you do the hard things in training so you can do them in the race.
Exactly.
My long run was in the elements. It was humid and
How do you get better? How do you get faster, Matt? You go faster.
you do it. You go out there and do it.
You're right. You want to get fucking faster at running? Well, you got to step it up a notch and go faster.
Yeah. So it was
Mhm.
fun. It was fun.
Nice.
Really finding a nice balance between my strength training and running. Because I'm really starting to dive back in, lean into lifting heavier again, like starting to build
Mhm.
up my just pure strength
Yeah.
again. And finding that balance, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Got that? I will call myself
Love
out there
it.
'cause I had this going on when I was in Florida, right? My elbow, my left
Yeah. How's
has
that
been.
feeling?
It's still a little tender. I definitely have something going on in my left
Mm.
elbow, some tendonitis or something, tennis elbow
Yeah.
perhaps. So my push days, I need to just be more mindful of those. Even my pull day,
Yeah.
I need to be careful. So
Yeah.
I'm
Because
nursing that.
you don't want to be like me with plantar fasciitis and suddenly like you're like just cruising along, right? And then you wake up one day, you're like, fuck, I got tennis elbow. I can't even fucking do anything. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like
Exactly.
happens like that. So it's like, okay,
Yep.
mindfulness now.
Yes. Yeah.
Catch it before it catches you.
Exactly. Don't let it fuck your
Hmm.
shit up.
Fuck. Don't let it fuck your shit up. You don't want to have to fucking pivot.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck
Big
pivoting.
goals this year.
Fuck.
I think I found my the first marathon I want to do. I'm not sold on it yet. There's a 26.2-mile race, 50-mile race, and a 100-mile race here in Ohio in July. And my ultimate
Oh,
goal, long run, is to do one of those 50 or 100 milers. Not going to do
yeah.
that yet. Not there yet. But
Right.
the marathon, of course, is very on the horizon. So I think
Yeah.
that's the end of July. So my
Hmm.
thinking here is I can just roll right into marathon training right after my half marathon
Yeah.
because
That's actually a possibility for
so
sure.
yeah, so I'm gonna see how I feel and iron out a training plan, but I'll essentially be running half marathons for the next few months and for training.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm excited for it.
Hells yeah. Hells yeah.
That's penciled. It's in pencil right now, not in stone, but that's what I got my eyes
Hmm.
on.
I got my bucket list is New York City Marathon. I've actually tried to get in twice and didn't. You got to get the lottery, but I know there's ways that you can do now to get in, and I think that's like charity and things like that. So I don't know, maybe if that's something you wanna do down the road, I'd be down to
Dude,
do that. That's like a bucket
in,
list item for me, is to, like, fucking run around New York City. I
instantly
think
in.
maybe we can, think about a charity or joining a charity together,
I would
and
love that.
I
We've
know there's
talked
a
about
fucking
doing events for charity.
yeah, so maybe we could do something like this, I don't know. I think it'd be kinda cool.
Well, here's another ask of our listeners. Let us know what kind of charities you guys are supporting. I've got some
Yeah.
that I support. I'm
Let
sure
us know if you have any in the New York City Marathon, with
people
charities and how the fuck can we get in there and run that?
Yeah,
I think it's in November.
the
I'm
fundraising
trying to think.
amount, like $2,000 or something, and you get in or something. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I don't
Somewhere out
know.
there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think did our friend do that? The one that we interviewed from Canada, Marathon to Sobriety, is that his name?
I don't think so. I think he got in just because he's a badass, I think. I think he
But
qualified
I
on.
thought he did for I thought he got he was part of a charity. Remember, I think I donated to the charity, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. He did get in off of a charity entry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, well there
So
we go.
anyway, food for
We can do
thought.
it. I think that's a great idea. We'll definitely that's on our agenda. We've talked about it here before, but once you're
Yeah.
running again and in that phase, the season of
Yeah.
your life, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, I can't wait until Beth and I are doing running at the same time
Yeah,
because
right.
we haven't really been runners together at the same time.
No.
A couple
Mm-mm.
of years ago, when we briefly did the Couch to 5K, we went on one run together,
That's right.
but
That's right.
we haven't really been on the same page yet. So I'm
Oh
excited
yeah.
it does
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. That'd be
Running
cool.
nerdles.
Running nurdles. All right. So
Well, we've got some shit to say today, I think. I know you definitely have some shit to say that we can
yeah, I
about.
really do. I I'm a bit shooketh.
Shooketh.
Okay. I'm a shooketh mother. So I got most of you that are following me probably know I got an anonymous Q&A and I want to read it exactly what it says because that's the most important part of
Yeah, let's get
this.
it verbatim. Context too. Like
Right.
it wasn't on a video or anything like that, so it was an anonymous Q&A box. So it's not like it
Yeah,
was
I'd say, I do every Friday or every when did I? Yeah, like
two of
every
them.
weekend, I'll do an anonymous Q&A and I'll answer throughout the week. I feel like more people are apt to ask questions this way rather than just sending me questions. I don't, people get really nervous. And so anonymous, I seem to get more detailed questions this way, along with a lot of fucked up ones. Okay, so there's good and bad that comes with the anonymous part of it.
Ever since I
Um,
was getting some of the bad ones, I was like, this is stupid. Like I got to protect my
Yeah.
people. I was
I
like,
ignore them now. I don't get them. It just really depends, but I do get a lot more questions when they're anonymous rather than just and
absolutely.
I
I agree with
it
that.
also gives you more room to write
Yeah.
so you can get more detail rather than the other one. It's like you run out of room.
Character limit on Instagram.
So, yeah. So this one says I don't want to say it too loud because I want to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
who this is about doesn't hear
Yeah.
it because this is very something I would not ever want him to see.
About our children. So
Yeah. So it says my son is chubby like yours
hmm
and the same age. How do you address that without fat shaming him?
yeah.
Well,
That's
first, let's just the immense amount of pain I first felt with that. And then the thought of how my son has also expressed his own
right.
thoughts about his changing body when he was probably like 11.
I remember this.
Because yeah, I mean, we talked about it. I think
Yeah.
even on the podcast, and that's how he started in doing jujitsu and all that stuff and strength training actually, because I didn't want him to focus on that because that
hmm
was something that was changing. And we talked about this is your body's changing. This is what happens when you're growing. And he was admittedly uncomfortable, and it made him like cry. You know,
hmm hmm
so of course, like with my deep past, and I don't want to like continue the fucking bullshit that I went through as a kid and I hope my sister and my brother went through.
Right.
So it's like, how do you deal with this? And I'm like, all right, we're going to get strong. And that literally changed the game. Getting him into jujitsu and strength training made him more, what do you want to call it? Just self confident and
Confidence. I see that.
strong. Yeah, right. Like I think he has more confidence than ever.
I would agree with
And
that.
yeah, right? Just morphing into himself and just really like loving the person that he is and because he knows he's strong as fuck and he's been consistent with these things. And he's come a long way. And so that comment just fucking just gut wrenched me,
Yeah.
because I'm like, what if he saw that or someone said that to him? Just like
hmm
this person was thinking about how does she talk to without fat shaming her son, which you don't talk about their weight. You don't. A changing body, you know what I mean? Like they're already confused. as my
Yeah.
little boy was confused. Like, why is this happening to me? You don't want to shame them or even make it like it's an issue.
Yeah. You're exactly right. Make it an issue. Why
Why are
so
we making these things fucking issues?
what kind of an
You're the
observation is that, first of all, that somebody else's kid is fucking chubby and
like
like
you don't want to fat shame your son, but you're
just
actually
did it
fat
to
shaming
me.
mine
Yeah,
publicly.
right. Think about that. They would never like if that person had somebody come up to them and be like, "Hey, I noticed your son is a little chubby just like mine." Like, "What? You wouldn't never
Right, right.
that
Can you
question
imagine?
or that statement or comment?" That is a fucked up comment, and it's more of the same diet culture bullshit, right? This
That's
is
the thing.
we work with our clients on. It's like our clients went through this stuff in the 80s and 90s and the
Mhm.
heroin chic and the skin thin as in and all that stuff and the Weight Watchers of the world where it was all about their body. And it's always
Yeah,
been about their body and that's their self-worth, right? And
yeah.
now that that person is just continuing that with their wanting to do that with their child and now your child too. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, have we learned nothing?
And the thing is, this is still happening. And what's upsetting is that so many people have a fucked up relationship with food, a fucked up relationship with their body, and they're having kids, and their kids are learning their behaviors. It
Yes.
really does stem from the parents, and it all comes, you're setting the path of their life.
Mhm.
And the one thing that you say about their body or any that's going to stick with them
Yeah.
forever. Just like
Yeah.
it stuck with you, and that's why you're fucked up.
Right.
You don't think about that, or maybe you do, but you really haven't worked on it. And so you're not a cycle breaker, you're a cycle continuer. You don't want to be that. You need to take
Don't pass your
y-
disordered thought
you
patterns and relationship
why
with
are
food.
you having kids if you can't even set them up to have a successful life when it comes to their body and food and all that shit? I just don't we don't
Like, I'm
think about
assuming
it.
as a
It's like
parent that this
we're so
person
selfish. We're fucking selfish. I want a baby. Okay? Are you mentally capable? Maybe you're physically capable, but are you mentally capable to have that baby right now and like teach it to, not have fucked up bullshit like you do currently? I don't know. I
yeah,
know we're none of us are perfect, but honestly, like I don't know what's worse to pass on to a child. I think that it's your fucked up relationship with food and your body issues.
yeah, because that
I
can
honestly think
over
that's
life.
probably number one thing that
Dude,
you can
you
pass
know
on.
we
That's
know this. We work with women in their 60s and 70s that are still struggling with shit that
literally for
their
fucking
grandma said
years.
when they were 12 years old, and they
Yeah.
still remember it like it was yesterday. It's traumatizing shit,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
not okay. In no context is it okay to come that's why I hate talking about other people's bodies.
Yeah.
Somebody makes the topic about their body, then, like, okay, like, cool, let's talk about that if, like, you're proud of it. Absolutely, but never unwarranted and never,
Right.
like, "What the fuck?" No. No. I can resonate with this too. We just
Mhm.
talked about this last week with, like, the comparison game,
Yeah.
and that prompted me I was getting in my feels a lot last week too, because then I went onto Instagram and I went down memory lane with myself and
Yeah.
made me remember how fucking insecure I was growing up and early in my
Mhm.
fitness journey.
Yeah.
And I remember always "Oh, you can eat anything you want," when you were growing like, that's what people would say, You can eat anything, you'll never get fat, you're tall and
Mhm.
lanky, you're skinny." I received lots of comments like that too, and that's like
That was like
that's the
me.
opposite
Uh-huh.
end of the spectrum. So you're
And
not
I
calling me
was
chubby, but now you're calling me skinny, and, like, you
yeah.
that's still no, nobody like, it doesn't
That's
feel
still shaming.
good. Weird.
That's how I grew up, Matt, because I was a very skinny child who got tall very quickly, but then
Yeah,
I stopped growing. So I was that we're going to hang you up on our door for Halloween. You're the human garbage pail. I don't know how you can eat so much food. My mom would
right.
compare herself
Where
to
does it
me,
go?
her 12-year-old daughter. Okay. You love your daughter more than me because she's skinnier to my dad. And I would hear this shit, dude. Talk about like fucked up shit. Comparing your
Mm.
12-year-old daughter to yourself in front of her. That's the opposite end of the spectrum. You're skinny until you're not. So I was always striving to be that person again. Like, oh, well, everyone always loves me because I'm skinny, skinny, skinny. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
then, wow, I'd love to
that
be
was,
skinny like you. I'd love to have your metabolism. Same
yeah, exactly.
those are things
So
that we were told as kids.
yeah, yeah, as kids, that our bodies are changing, right?
Right.
That's how my body changed. My body just grew up. and I was super skinny and long-legged and lanky, and then it stopped, and then I started
Yeah.
feeling out. So I was, like, different. I didn't grow out then up. I just grew up and then out.
Mhm. Yep,
Yeah.
and because I was always skinny, like, that's I felt a lot of pressure to always be skinny then. And that's
Mhm.
early on in my fitness journey, that was something I struggled with, was not letting my weight get too much, and that's what, for me, introduced a lot of disordered eating patterns, right, with intermittent fasting
Yeah.
and fasting for fucking 4 or 5 days on end to
Mhm.
maintain that skinny, lean looking physique,
Yeah.
you know? It carries on with you for sure,
Mhm.
and it's heartbreaking, and
Yeah.
we see you're seeing it with, like, it's tough as parents too, right? Dealing and unpacking this stuff. It is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unpacking the stuff
Yeah.
that we dealt with and then not passing it on to our own children. I catch myself all the time almost
Mhm.
commenting, to Riker about certain things, right?
Same.
But I do catch myself and make it more so about his accomplishments, his effort, the things he's doing to take care of
Yeah.
himself. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's got my genetics. He's lanky, he's skinny, right? Um,
Mhm.
and I see it right now. Beth, he wants to get big and strong, and I can tell, like, there's an insecurity there. I know there is an insecurity.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking guy. I had that same insecurity, and I still do have
Right.
that same insecurity about not being big enough and strong enough, and not
Mhm.
looking manly enough, and not being fast enough. So
Yeah.
it's very tough for us as parents to still instill these behaviors, and take the focus off of our body, right?
Yeah.
So
And that's why it's imperative to work on yourself, and that's why I knew I had to change or else, my son wasn't gonna have the best growing up.
mhm,
Quit drinking. I had to change everything. And it's not fucking easy. I get that. But your kids deserve your best you.
they do.
They don't deserve your fucked up bullshit that you're taking along with you and you're not dealing with it.
Yeah. Think about how your parents and grandparents made you feel when they made comments about your body. As adults, we still receive these comments. Think about how that feels now, right? It does not feel good.
Mhm.
Goes back to what we learned in kindergarten. Treat others the way
Right.
you're treated. Don't say
Yeah.
anything when it say that, like, you wouldn't want said to yourself. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do, and it's so instilled in our society and in our vocabulary to talk about other people's bodies. And it does take intention to stop it. It does. Like I just said, I
Mhm.
catch myself still almost saying things like, "Wow, you've gained," like Riker, one of the things he's trying to gain weight, you know?
Yeah.
As a 15-year-old, like, he does use the scale as every once in a while. He's like, "Hey, dad, I gained some weight," you know? And he gets
Mhm.
excited about it, which is great. Like, I love to see him, and I always reframe it though, rephrase it like, "Yeah, like, what do you like, you've really been working hard. Like, I know you've been crushing it in the gym. How's it feel? You work out with your baseball team now 3 days a week. Like, isn't that awesome?" You know, because that's what's
Mhm.
making him gain weight, and he's building
Yeah.
things, right? So I'm rewarding the thing, or praising the things he's doing. Not praising like, "Wow, you gained weight," or, "Wow, you lost weight." No, I'm praising,
Yeah.
dude, I'm proud of you because you're waking up at 6 a.m. and then going to school and then going to practice and stuff until 6 or 7 o'clock at night,
Mhm.
and doing the damn thing. And
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for that. I'm happy for you for that, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you're feeling good is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
I can think of just a recent example, baseball season. He just started baseball season. So he had his first game on Saturday, and
Mhm.
it was really exciting. I was so proud of him. I'm so proud of him always. But
Yeah.
he had a rough preseason, like scrimmages and stuff in terms of batting.
Mhm.
The batting wasn't catching on. I was like, the whole time through the scrimmages and stuff, like, hey, Riker, this is what scrimmages are for. This is what practices are for. Work out these
Mhm.
bugs, work out these kinks. And I get it. He's ninth grade. He's the first year playing high school baseball, JV,
Yeah.
things like that. There's a lot of fucking pressure there to perform.
Mhm.
So I just had to
Yeah.
like, this is why we practice, because we're working out the bugs. You're gonna work on your swing's gonna improve. Just keep showing up, do the repetitions, do the mental repetitions, and listen to your coach. You know?
Mhm.
Oh, the first game of the season, he had 2 hits. He had an RBI single, his first hit of the season. He was the only player on the team that had multiple hits that game. And after the game, I didn't tell him I was proud of him.
Mhm.
I told him I was happy for him. I said, "Riker, you must be feeling really good right now with the way that you showed up for yourself and the way that you played." I said, "I'm really happy
Yeah.
you're you've been showing up, and I'm proud of the effort that you've been giving." So I didn't say like, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
proud that you got 2 hits. I'm proud that you won. I'm happy for you
Right.
that you've got this result and you're feeling good, and I'm proud of what you did to get to this place." And
Yeah.
then yesterday, Beth, they had another game.
Mhm.
They lost yesterday. I told him after the game, "Hey, I'm proud of you." So I'm
Mhm.
praising the effort still. Because you showed up and it was a tough game. You guys played them hard. They won. You played them.
Yeah.
You can go back and get them tomorrow. You know,
Yeah.
you did what you did. You hit the ball. You played your position. I'm proud of how you showed up. You know,
Yeah.
win or lose. It's the messaging is the same. It's not about the result. It's about what they're doing and how they're
Right.
composing themselves, right? And how I'm teaching.
Yeah.
Same way with Johnny, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With you know,
Jiu-jitsu and strength
jujitsu,
training and oh,
especially with
yeah.
jujitsu, like that's something he loves, right? And I
Mhm.
think it was the first day I was there, he was asking you about when are we going to start jujitsu while I'm here, you know?
Yeah, 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 he's been going Tuesday and Thursdays.
And every year you've been going there now,
He
you've been doing
shows up, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm,
right. That's what we should be rewarding and praising.
mhm. Oh, yeah. I tell him I'm so proud of your consistency. You show up and even when you're not home and I'm like, "Look at you going into a place that's you don't even know, or you don't even know the people there.
Hmm.
You just go and you're just walking right in, just showing the fuck up from another state." I'm like, "That is cool."
That is,
That to
yeah.
me is like, we have a hard time getting, like, people into the gym to work out by themselves. But
Uh-huh.
imagine, like, my son is 13 years old showing up to a
Completely different state.
jujitsu in a different state with people that he's never fucking met besides the school instructor.
Hmm.
It's like, man, that's fucking balls. I would even be nervous as fuck.
Fuck yeah, balls of
You
steel,
know what I'm
right?
saying? So it's like he's like, I'll just go up there, mom. And I'm like, the first time, haven't been back
I
yet.
never would have done
I know
that.
he walked up by himself.
Yeah, I never would have done that. Choking on some water there, Nerdle. Hydrate or dihydrate. And to your note as well about Johnny's confidence, I absolutely noticed that this last time that was just there a couple weeks ago, right? I think we even mentioned talked about that, like wow, like he's so much more confident in himself and the things he's doing and the way he's just
Yeah,
the way his composure, everything,
way he carries himself.
the way he
Hmm.
carries himself. Yes, thank you. Hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I think the last time you saw him was in, June. Was it the
in
last time you
Portland.
saw him?
Yeah, because he
In
went to
Oregon.
Portland with us. That would have been because when I came
Yeah.
in fall, that's when you were sick, so we didn't end up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's cool to see that, and those things are instilled in us, in our children, and they gained that confidence over, like it's cool, right? As parents, but also fitness coaches, seeing how our kids have progressed over the years with their strength training and
Mhm.
their exercise, right? And how
And the
it
confidence comes from that,
yes.
from getting strong and not focusing on your body, but focusing on what it can do.
Yeah. I guarantee you it, and I know it's for a fact because I asked Riker that he's happy that he was introduced to the gym and he's been doing that with me because that prepared him for high school. Like, can you imagine going onto the freshman JV team, high school team with people that are 4 or 5 years older than you, go into the gym, high school gym to lift weights with your sports team? How intimidating. Yes, I've done that. I used to do that. And I was a scrawny little kid, right? Scrawny, tall kid, never hit weights before in my life till high school sports started. And it's like, oh, like, wow, these guys are like, right. The comparison game started so early for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know
But
Johnny's gonna be in high school, like, in, like, 2 years.
right.
He's
So he's
got
gonna
1
have
more
a
year, and then, so
he's been
I'm
doing
glad
the
he's
damn
doing all
thing.
this shit.
Like he's
Jujitsu,
gonna show
fucking
up day
strength
one, he's
training.
gonna know what he's doing. He's gonna be teaching other people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
And
that's what Riker's
and
doing.
he'll be able to defend himself if he needs to.
That's always right. That's what we want for our children.
Which, to me is important, I don't know, I
It
think
is.
that's a huge thing of
Yeah.
jujitsu is that's not about your size, but what you can do,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
Smallest person in jujitsu can take out the biggest person.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
Because that jujitsu really it's a discipline. That's what you're learning. You're learning a discipline. I think that's what even how
Mhm.
they refer to it is like what's your discipline when they're talking about like mixed martial arts and stuff. Like
Yeah.
well, no, I do BJJ or something.
Mhm.
That's really what mixed martial arts is all about is that discipline and the confidence,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
self respect, respect for other people. A lot of good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, we've been setting our kids up for success for years now, and now they're starting to reap the benefits of that, which is really cool.
Mhm.
There's also so talking about like the body shaming comments too, talking about other kids' bodies, like going back to the original question, here's where my brain kind of goes to is
Mhm.
how do you, as a parent, talk to your child about how they're chubby? Well, how do you think your child got chubby? Like this might piss some people off, but your children isn't buying groceries. Your
Mhm.
children isn't preparing your child isn't making meals, you're feeding them. You're controlling what they're putting in their body. So, don't come at them with some bullshit about them being overweight or chubby or fat when they're under your house, you're under roof. You control
Mhm.
what you feed them. Maybe you should look at yourself to see how you've been treating yourself and your behaviors and your habits, right? Like you talked about it
Mhm.
starting with us.
It does. Yep.
And because that's what really pisses me off when we get the children involved and we talk about our children's obesity and shit. Be a fucking parent and
Yeah, that's
grow
why I
up.
say lead by example.
Yeah.
You make the food at home. Stop going out to eat all the fucking time and giving
Is it
them
the seed
fucking,
oils and the candy that's making your child fucking fat, or is it that your
or is it the
child is eating
drive-through
candy
and the
3
regular
times a
soda?
day, right? Let's be real here.
Yeah,
That's
I
my like, that's what pisses me off about that comment.
you gotta give them the options, and then you gotta get them to move.
Yes.
Like Matt said, you're the fucking parent, man. I don't care if my son's like, "I don't wanna go for a walk today. I just don't wanna do it." No, you're gonna do it. Go walk the dog.
Yeah. So many
And do
parents wanna be the friend of their child. In my generation, I'm 38, I guess I'm a fucking millennial. That's what I see is everybody wants to be friends with their children. No, you need to be a
Mhm,
fucking parent to your children.
mhm.
You can be their friend when they're 20, 30, 40 years old later in life. Right now, they
Yeah,
need you to be a fucking parent and instill some discipline and good behaviors on them.
yeah.
And if your child is overweight and you don't like that, look at your fucking self because I guarantee you, you played a role in that. Sorry, that
Mhm.
just probably upset somebody, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
As a parent, no, it's not okay. This is the whole lack of accountability thing and the lack of the victim, the victim mentality, right? If we were to take accountability, like that question would never happen. You would never receive
Mhm.
that question if that person that asked you that was accountable
Right.
for their own shit. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
We've been doing this a long time, right?
Mhm.
We can read between the lines. We know like the type of person that are asking these questions and they're saying these things because one sentence says a lot.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's tough.
Yep.
Parenting is tough. It's absolutely tough.
It is. And then you got the ones that mind fuck their kids with the ingredients in food.
Yeah, it's all the
And
same
then
bullshit.
there's all the it's all
It is.
connected, you guys.
You can
Like you
eat
guys,
that. There's red dye 3 in that.
I think like parents just way like over explain. Shit doesn't need to be like even talked about sometimes, like the way you guys talk about shit. Like
We
it's
get our
hard.
children involved in adult conversations and adult
Yes. Okay.
scenarios.
This is where the friend
Yeah.
parent thing comes in,
Yes.
right? It's like you guys make big deals out of things that don't need to be made into a big deal, like about your kids' like body and I like most I like what they're it like the ingredients in their fucking cereal and think about all the disordered shit that you're feeding them.
Right.
Like kind of like Bob Flave City taking his daughter to the fucking grocery store and saying,
Oh,
"Oh, do you know?" I mean, that kind of shit is going to affect her, and she's going to be fucked up. It's like you could see it before it's even happening, and that's sad as fuck. That poor innocent little girl has been brought into her fucking fucked up daddy's life, who has just warped her fucking mind with the toxic ingredients and chemicals
and
and all
let's be
these
real. He's
foods.
exploiting her. He's exploiting her. That's what
Yes,
it is. You're exploiting your
she's going to
children.
grow up with fucking issues, and that sucks. That
Uh-huh.
sucks.
Yeah.
There's no way that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fine line too with influencers and things like that getting their children involved, right? Like I don't we don't really get our children too involved in the stuff that we're doing online, but they're obviously a part of our life and we show that part of it, but we're not getting our children to give
Mhm.
like what? Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're using your children for exposure and for marketing and that's kind of
Mhm. That's
gross.
creepy.
Creepy. It's fucking gross. There's a whole what is it, momfluencer, I think, like with
I don't know, but I'm
YouTube,
so
everybody
glad,
wanting
like,
their children to be YouTube stars and
these
influencers and
poor
shit.
kids, like, they didn't ask to be on camera. I don't care if they
Right.
consent or
Yes.
not. You're out there to ask you're the
They're
parent.
not
Do
old
you think
enough
they're
to
gonna say
consent.
no to you? They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't know how to say no.
They're gonna wake up like these like 13 years old and go back to a video that their parents made with them, like a million of them. It's like I would not want that in my life
Yeah.
as an adult.
Mhm. Mhm. Every time I've ever posted Riker, I've done it with
Hey
this girl.
mom, do you have any
Like I just said,
photos of
they
me? Oh, just go scroll through TikTok.
yeah.
We have tons of videos of you, honey.
The influencers.
You're wearing your underwear and some of them you have diapers on. How embarrassing. Fuck
Dude, that's
that.
gross. That is
You know what I'm saying? And you have all these fucking perverts saving these videos because they're gonna jack off to your
that
fucking
is a real fucking problem,
3-year-olds.
actually.
And this is real fucking shit.
It is.
That's just sick.
People do that.
Yeah.
That's that is very, yes. We should I don't know where we just went with this conversation. Holy shit.
I don't know, but yeah.
Talking about influencers, right? Like, and the shit that they do,
Influencers
and the
and
way
your
they're harming their
kids.
children.
And
Yes.
we gotta save the children from everything.
We do have to take the children, for sure. And I tell you,
Oh my
if we
god.
want to save our children, it's not by eliminating seed oils and red dye 3 in your
Uh,
fucking smoothie, okay?
yeah. Please.
Let's get real here. Oh my goodness. You made a video about that then, with that comment about the chubbiness. How was that received? What was the messaging there? Because the video was like you were showing videos of him rolling in BJJ and doing strength training and living an active life and doing
And
all.
like, yeah, it was basically like me kind of like saying we have to just lead by example.
Yeah.
Kids need to be active and they need to eat fruits and vegetables, and that's all we can really do. It's really, and you don't say a fucking word. You don't
Right.
say a word about their weight.
Yes.
You just lead by example, keep them active, feed them healthy
We-
foods, and
We've made
give them,
entire episodes about leading, like
you
how
know,
do you instill healthy behaviors and
yeah,
stuff in your children. We've done entire episodes on this. This is not the
yeah,
first time we've talked about this type of stuff.
right,
It's
yeah,
heartbreaking that these conversations need to keep happening.
yeah. And basically, like, these are innocent children.
Hmm. Did you get anybody commenting that were like in agreement with the original person that asked that question?
No,
Oh,
people were pissed. I've gotten nothing but positivity,
good.
and honestly, a lot of similar stories
Mm.
about how they were talked to as kids and how it has affected them their entire life, and that a lot of people. This is nothing new, unfortunately. It
Yeah.
happens to so many people, and it still
And I don't
does. Obviously.
we know the answer is very easy. Like, it starts with us. It starts with
Hmm.
us as adults. But like, how do we? Obviously, this problem isn't going to stop. It's never going to go away. We can just
Yeah,
do our best, I guess. But because the question is like, how do we change this? I guess by doing what we're doing, perhaps.
talking about it,
Eh,
talking about it.
There's so many
I know,
problems
and
out there that we're like, we don't know. Like, we just have to talk about it, though.
yeah, I got a lot of people sending me pictures of their little boys saying that they've been fat shamed and they're just growing. They're literally like Johnny. And I think this goes to talk about how this doesn't just affect girls. This affects boys too.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I got a lot of parents of boys that were saying, some had, grew up being made fun of for their weight, and then they ended up getting an eating disorder. So this is
Eating
just like
disorders,
girls.
guys, in
for
men,
for for men, and
they're actually prevalent.
some were in treatment. I mean, the stories that I heard yesterday were,
Yeah,
it's really sad. It's
the
really
num
sad that this
the
happens.
numbers, the statistics we have for men and eating disorders and mental health issues, you can take them with a grain of salt and guarantee that probably double them, like the actual
Mhm.
numbers, because men still we don't talk about these things,
Right.
especially in the generation that I grew up with, and sooner than that is we didn't talk. Like,
Mhm.
no, just be a man about it. Suck it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be fat, then go fucking stop eating a Twinkie. Go to the gym. You know?
And this is like, you can't expect to have it's for a 13-year-old to have a fucking six pack. What the fuck is wrong with people? You're talking about
That's
children that are
we have
like,
no idea
their
what
bo-
normal bodies look like.
their bodies are changing. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, they wake up and they're 3 inches taller. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the fact that you would even think about like mentioning body weight to a growing fucking child is sick.
When their hormones are changing, when
Yeah,
their
like I
entire
said, like,
body composition's changing overnight.
oh yeah, like it's
1 month, they
like,
can grow an inch or 2, like, and you wanna
and
comment on, like, what?
and you want to make them feel bad about something they're already confused about. Think about that.
Mhm.
They're already thinking about what's happening to me, and you're going to be like, oh my god, you need to
So
stop eating
maybe
that.
that's right, so that's where the conversation should be, rather than talking to your 13-year-old child about them being, quote, unquote, "what you think is chubby," why don't you talk to them about, like, "Hey, what kind of changes have been happening with your body?" Like, what like, have
Hmm.
that talk with them as a parent, like, "Hey, you're right now, your body's gonna be going through some changes." Have that birds and bees talk, right? Like,
Yeah.
have these conversations so they know, And
Mhm.
that's really it. It doesn't need to be about their body weight. Hey, your
Doesn't
body.
need to be more than that. Just be like,
Right.
"Hey, this is what's happening. You're going through lots of changes. Things are, you're gonna be growing some hair,
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
muscle, body
Those aren't.
fat, like
It's
all this
not.
stuff happens. Your
It's
bones
awkward.
are growing. Your literal bones are fucking growing. So you need to talk to them about this shit. I mean, why do you think they get growing pains and stuff? I mean, come on, you guys need to think about this.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is not about you, and you're making it about you.
Just like the person, assuming, I shouldn't assume, but I'm going to assume that it was a woman that asked that, just because that's most of our
Mhm.
followers and listeners. And I don't think a dad would be asking that question. I mean, if you guys want to ridicule me for that, go for it. But uh,
Right.
and as
Mhm.
a guy, I like to talk about like how are you feeling in your body, right? Like that's always a good thing to
Oh,
talk about. How are you feeling in your
yeah.
body? What changes have you noticed? Things like that, and I can quite clearly
Mhm.
tell my son's voice is changing literally daily. Every time I talk,
Yeah.
every day it
Yeah.
seems like his voice changed. So
Uh-huh.
those types of things, like you're going through this right now.
Oh, yeah, the voice change. I mean, fuck, there's so much.
Yeah. Squirrel moment avoided. Yay.
We had both similar squirrel moments
That's not good when we both
at the
have.
same time. Oh my.
You think it's bad on the
Um,
podcast? Wait, come hang out with us.
yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually make another video about this whole thing. I feel like I want to talk about it more, and not I want to talk about it how like we need to stop talking about our kids' bodies, and
Yeah.
how we need
Yes.
to more talk about the changes that are happening, rather than us being worried about them being a certain weight, when we just need to model healthy lifestyles.
Remember the other point. Yes. Go ahead, Beth.
No, you can continue.
Okay. It was using that's why I said and I'm assuming this is a woman that asked, because I was going to relate equate it to like a woman that's going through menopause, right?
Mm,
Think about it. A boy going through puberty, a girl going
mhm,
through puberty, a teenager. It's big change. That's the other time we go through a big change like that in our lives as for women is menopause, right?
mhm.
Women want to be going through menopause and be like, "You're a little chubby. Look, going through menopause, looking a little chubby,
Oh,
right?"
you must be going through
And
menopause.
the woman that asked that, right? Maybe she might be menopausal. So like reframe it too. Like I'm going
Mhm,
through menopause. Would I want somebody to comment on if my perceived like weight gain or whatever? No, 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 no.
mhm. Right.
It was a thought. It was a thought, and it was a butchered thought, and I tried to bring it back together.
I get what you're putting down.
Thanks, Nerdle.
I get it. Yeah.
I think that's a topic that definitely needs to be talked about more.
Yeah,
I'm
for
with you
sure.
on that one to talk more about that.
It's a
Uh,
question that I get quite frequently,
is it?
actually, and not obviously not in that manner. It's more because we've talked about it on the podcast, like,
Well, yeah.
so it really comes down to us and our what we're doing that they could see.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Mhm. Yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
So, quick note, we'll start wrapping things up here. Our Patreon is our anniversary. We talked about this on the podcast last week, and we were like, we don't know
Mhm.
what we're going to do for the special, right? Well,
Oh, right.
it's the first of the well, it's the second of the month now.
Mhm.
And if you want to join our Patreon, you can do a yearly membership. We gave you a 30% discount to join the yearly membership. So if you pay for a year membership to the Patreon, you get a 30% discount to pay for a year, which is pretty cool.
Mhm. Nice.
Um,
Yay.
yeah, and people love that. Every time we do this every year actually, in
Mhm.
April, and people love it. So you want to get a whole year's of workouts for fucking less than, I don't know what it is, 30 or $40, right? Like with the Patreon, go do
Mhm.
buy a year membership and you got a
Yeah.
whole year of workouts coming to you with
Mhm.
challenges as well. Can we talk about the challenge for this month in the Patreon for April, Beth? Because that's a fun.
Yes. Do something that's going to make yourself proud by the end of the day, every single day.
That's the challenge. It might not sound like much, right? But these are the things that stack up. These are the things that matter, and
Yeah.
that's what our Patreon is all about. With the $5 tier, with the workouts, you get a monthly challenge like that. It's usually mindset or like habit or consistency
Yeah.
focused, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So now we know
Mhm.
for sure what our promo is for the Patreon. 30% discount to come by.
30%.
Pretty fucking dope. So
Yes.
take
Pretty dope.
advantage of that.
Pretty dope.
Um, I think this is a good wrapping up point. Yeah. Is there anything else we
Yeah.
wanted to talk about today? I mean, we kind of just had a
Well,
really good really good talk.
Not that I can think of. I mean, I do have a few things, but that's a whole other topic for another day. I'd like to talk about
Yeah.
how many people eat out all the time at some
Yeah.
point. I think that a lot of people would benefit from not eating out as much as they do. And
I
I'm
had a
talking about this
client
because
once
we're realizing that a lot of our clients eat out a lot. What are you
that you
guys
don't
doing?
control that shit
What are
at
you guys
all.
doing?
I
You
know. I
guys,
had a client once
food's
pay for
expensive.
coaching by
Food's
canceling her
expensive.
DoorDash.
Yeah, imagine that.
She was
Imagine
paying
that.
$400 a month in DoorDash,
Mm.
and she couldn't afford coaching at first. But she was like, you know what? Actually, I'm going to cancel my
$400
DoorDash.
a month,
Yeah, and she got great.
guys.
So, like, be honest with yourself. How much are you spending
Yeah.
on DoorDash and eating out? That shit is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Go to McDonald's and try to get out of there for less than $10. It's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
It adds up. Not only money, right? It's the other stuff, the calories, the amount of fat and salt and sugar in those foods that make them all high calorie and highly palatable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's definitely
Mm-hmm.
do a topic on that. I agree. That's much needed. We'll come.
Yeah, we should talk about expectations and things like that. Because if you want to be, it's like the person that you are now is not going to be the same person that you want to be. So you need to do things differently. And I think a lot of people get that really skewed. It's like, yeah, no,
You
this is
need to
why
have an
you need
identity shift.
yeah, you do. You do. Current you is not going to be future you with the current habits that you're doing.
Right. Exactly. Most of the time, it's you have to recondition the brain, the dieting brain, and getting
Mm-hmm.
out of the dieting mindset. And the short term hack mindset is usually what we're
Yeah.
for, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
great ideas for episodes. And I know
To be
too,
continued.
we're going to start a whole new episode now.
All right.
And last week's episode, I know was really well received as well. The comparison, talking about comparisons, stop fucking comparison,
Mm-hmm.
comparing yourselves to others and yourself. We had great feedback on that one. So we're stacking
Yeah.
up good episodes here back to back, talking about body image and things like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right.
All right, that's it for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
All
We
right,
asked you a
bye.
couple questions at the beginning of the podcast. Let us know what your answers are. Send us DMs.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, so why not share with a friend who needs to hear it? Send us a DM on Instagram or email us at cutthecrappod@gmail.com and join our Patreon at patreon.com/cutthecrappodcast. As always, we appreciate you and thanks for being here.